fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hypertour Reviews here, and today we're taking a look at KB from Skeleton Crew and her Attin appearance. I am loving this show. Now, just so you know where I'm at, I'm recording this on Sunday before episode 4 drops. So, I'm basing this entirely off of episodes 1, 2, and 3. So, if something crazy happens in episode 4 and beyond, I don't know it yet. But I am loving this show. I think it's been amazing so far. I've been loving the figure releases, and KB looks to be no exception. She was the one kid that I figured was going to be like the kid in the show, right? She didn't get a lot of time in the trailers. You know, I'm just like, like she's gonna have this cool little headgear thing and nothing else. But she has actually gotten a little bit of screen time in the show, and I am liking her character just as much as any of the other kids. None of these 4 kids has been getting neglected on screen time so far. So I am liking her character, and I'm excited to see where she goes in the series, and this figure just looks really good. So with that said, let's go ahead and get her opened up and see what we're getting here. And here we have KB in the packaging. Let's go ahead and take a look at that before we get into the true review. So this is your standard Black Series box with the Black Series logo up above a giant window showing her and her accessories off nicely through the glare. But that's what it is. She's number 5 in the Skeleton Crew line, KB, in her Attin appearance. Star Wars Skeleton Crew, Warning 4+ Hasbro, all in yellow going on here. You have on the side some really cool artwork of her messing with her headgear, and then her name down at the bottom of the box. Background's kind of bland going on in there, but whatever. This side features your wraparound window, wraparound stripe, Black Series logo. Around back, zoom in on the art, your Black Series logo, a bio about the show, not her. Number 5 in the Skeleton Crew line, much of legal stuff. Disney, Hasbro, barcode, legal, shambambadam. And then there's a hanger tab up top. Nothing to write home about here. It is your very standard Black Series packaging. I'm not a loser. I open my toys. So let's open her up and see what we're getting here. Here's KB out of the packaging. As always, we'll start by taking a look at her accessories. So she does come with a flashlight. This is a different sculpt from Neil's, and I feel that's accurate because I don't remember her having one before finding one on the Onyx Cinder, which means that Neil's came from Attin and hers was picked up later on. I believe that to be accurate to the show. I don't remember the lore of the flashlight specifically, but looks very nice. Has a silver lens and like cap at the bottom, and then red for the body with a gray strip here, and then a couple of yellow and white buttons. Looks very good. Shorter than Neil's flashlight, but that's alright. She can carry it. It is a one-handed flashlight, and that's fine. And it looks good in the hand. Getting her stood back up on her own again. Looking at her backpack, like Neil, it has a hole in the side to store said flashlight in. So you do get weapon, or accessory, I guess not weapon, but accessory storage on the figure, which I do really like. It is a little yellow backpack with some stripes on it. Looks very Earth-like otherwise, but it has like the typical Star Wars little like badge on it thing. You know, you got to Star Wars it up just a little bit. I don't really remember her having one, but I guess she's a student in the show, so I guess it would make sense. It's just like of the 4 kids, I don't remember her really carrying a backpack. But yeah, putting it on is much like Neil. It just slides on super easy, and it lays very nice once you do have her wearing it. It doesn't make her super back heavy. Bringing in Neil for a second, I feel like his is like more, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it just seems like hers is little and his is big, but his could be like a camping backpack, as I guess they weren't really like on their way home from school in this bit or whatever, but hers is just little. It kind of reminds me of like a lounge fly bag, which aren't those like purses for women or something? But, it's just little, and it's just what it is. But taking the lounge fly backpack off, setting that aside, the accessories are pretty good. I do like that. And taking a look at KB, we'll start with the head. So she does have her headgear on over her eyes, and it is recreated very well. It's in a gray plastic. They've painted on the 2 little circles and the band, the Geordie LaForge visor there. And it does look pretty good. Now, I think they probably just didn't catch the memo here, because in the show she flips it up pretty regularly. This does not articulate. Now underneath, you see they did sculpt eye sockets, but they're not painted or anything or photoreeled on. So She didn't get the eye treatment this go around. Now, if I had to have one versus the other, I would have her with the eye gear down. So it is what it is. I do think that maybe opens up potential for maybe down the road there being like a Target or Walmart exclusive of kind of like how they did Shin and Balin, where they added accessories, or maybe we get an accessory from the show, whether it be a map or something. I'm guessing there's going to be something introduced in the show, treasure or however. It might give them an opportunity to reissue another KB with either an articulated hinge there or just a different head that's permanently up, and then to give us other accessories that way. So we'll see how the show progresses. But all in all, I do like how that head sculpt worked out. It's just a little less dynamic than I think ultimately it should have been. Her hair's very nice. I mean, it's accurate to the show. It lays and chops like that in the show, and so it does look pretty good. And features her little highlights, the kind of purpley blue, strip on the side and the back there. And yeah, it just looks really good. It's very accurate to her character. Now, for the rest of the figure, it might be a smidge boring. It is just a jumpsuit. So she's always tinkering on stuff in the show, and it is a good costume for a character that is into such things. But as you see at the bottom of the neck, there's like the hint of a t-shirt, and then otherwise she is just wearing her gray jumpsuit. And that's all right. It looks good. It's covered in patches. It has subtle sculpting all over it just to give it the bagginess and wrinkles of fabric. It features some shoulder patches there with some emblems on them and little silver bits and bobs all over on the belt and like where the the chest is, and her shirt pocket there, and she's got a brown pouch there. And other than that, and some little subtle hits of yellow, I mean, it's just a lot of gray going on here. Nothing wrong with it. Again, it's accurate to the show. It's just not as exciting as our ketchup and mustard friend Neil here. So it's just how it goes. But sculpted very, very nicely. A lot of good sculpt work, especially on those attachments there. Something that I was thinking, because she's one of the taller kids, but I was thinking, because like the character's so short, maybe there might be some potential reuse here for Pelimoto. But then when I looked up, the Pelimoto's design is drastically different, even though at its core it is just a jumpsuit. So I kind of hope they don't do that, because it wouldn't be a very good Pelimoto. But I'm just itching for that Pelimoto in the line somewhere along the way. But yeah, she is sculpted very well. She is, decoed very well. And I kind of feel like everything that you would want on a KB has been done here. So to run through some articulation, she's kind of like Neil. She has most of the modern stuff. However, there's a couple of things that you just can't do at a smaller size. So she features the ball at the bottom and at the top of the neck, allowing her to look this far up, this far down. You get some side to side and a little bit of pivot in there. The hair does hit like on the collar, so I think you could get more range if it wasn't so long, but that is just how it is. Her arms come up to a T-pose. There's no butterfly joint in there. She's got to be just under that threshold because she's taller than like the other kids. But yeah, no butterfly joint. 360 at the shoulder, single jointed elbows, go to 90 degrees and then swivel. And then her wrists are the ball jointed wrists, so they can go all over, but they are recessed into that sleeve. I don't really super like that. Hinders them a bit. So another thing that's just a little weird is it's just like the arms just seem really, really skinny. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's a proportional thing, but they do seem really skinny, at least in the bicep area around the joint. But yeah, the mid-torso ball joint allows you to crunch that far forward, that far back. Then you can get some side to side and some pivot. She can do a perfect split and then kick almost straight forward, not much back. There's an upper thigh rotation with single jointed knees that go to 90 degrees and swivel. And then she features no boot cut, but her feet can point straight down, decently forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get her in some decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. Getting her stood back there, let's do some size comparisons. Here she is next to Neil. I don't have Wim or Fern yet, so those will be coming next week, hopefully, according to Amazon. Here is Jod, here is Brutus, and then just to give us a standard size 6-inch figure, just for some general reference, here is the new body Stormtrooper. So yeah, as mentioned, she's one of the taller of the kids, and you start getting like next to Jod and the stormtrooper. You know, she's getting up there a bit, and yeah, ultimately, I do like the figure. It looks really good. So at the end of the day, what do I think of KB? I think she's a great figure. I'm really happy with this one. I think that she came with every accessory that she possibly could have before the airing of the show. And I think that her articulation is solid, her sculpt is solid, her accessories are nice. It's a little bit of a bummer about not having eyes going on underneath of the visor, but it's not ultimately a deal breaker for me. If we're only going to get one version, this is the one of the two that I would want. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice figure. And if you're going for the other kids in the line, you kind of got to get the quartet, you know? So I do think that she's really nice. I'm super happy I have her. I think if you're digging the show, you'll probably enjoy her as a pickup too. When I went to Walmart, I'd say a local one, but it's about an hour and a half away. But when I went there and I saw Jod, her, and Neil hanging on the pegs, I just couldn't believe it because I was like, these are like the interesting kids of the four. Like, where's Wim? Where's Fern? And I could not find them. I was looking all over. I was going to get the whole set if I could. And yeah, Wim and Fern are gone. So that's just what it is. But yeah, I'm really loving this show. I'm loving the characters. I think they've done a great job on all the action figures I've gotten to see so far via watching reviews or just handling like this one. And I'm just really excited to finish the set. So that's it for this time. I do recommend her. So thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the end of video stuff. You know the drill. I'm going to go work on something else now. So until next time, may the force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.